I have really enjoyed, our time working together and getting to know you. And one of the key takeaways for me from the time that we spent working together was this concept of the point of friction, or at the point of friction, that you taught me. And it's something that I've adopted as sort of a motto for our Horizons West company. And the reason that it really resonated with me was, I think that so many times in sales organizations, there are all these points of friction throughout the sale or the sales process that sales individuals or individual contributors have to deal with, that sales managers have to deal with, and it's just inherent to businesses and to companies, all these different points of friction that they encounter. And that's one of the reasons why it resonated with me, was that I really think about what we do at Horizons West, in that we try to engage with our clients and help them to really remove those points of friction from their sales process and their sales operation. So I'd love it if you would just maybe share with the audience, the concept of the point of friction and where that came from for you, and how it applies for you in what you do.
The point of friction, it comes from MCDP TAC 1, which is a Marine Corps warfighting publication, and it's in warfighting. That's the very first thing that we learn as young lieutenants when we go to the basic school. And basically where it comes from, and it's the point of friction is any place, system, a moment, that or a decision maker that really it's like where weakness is applied. Okay. And it's where we want to create a disproportionate disruption to the enemy. But sometimes that enemy can be ourselves. And the way that I've always applied this is, let me ask you, like, what do we as salespeople constantly focus on?
Making our number.
Right. On sales, right? Sales is a fuel item, the way that I look at it. And that's something that I learned in this program with the National Roofing Contractors Association called Future Executives Institute. Great professor out there at Kellogg. And he had this whole class about fuel versus friction. And sales is a fuel item. We're constantly focused on it. What we tend not to focus on enough is the friction. And that friction, based on Marine Corps world, is anything that makes the seemingly easy very difficult, or the seemingly difficult virtually impossible. And so, and when we think about these things and applying it to our positions and whatnot, what are the things, and we talked about this in ambition planning, right? What has to be true? If there were no obstacles in the way, every obstacle that we talk about, those are points of friction. Whether, and I'll apply it to me in my industry. We have a lot of transitions between getting an opportunity to just getting a proposal and then finally a sale. So when I'm dealing with stuff like that, and I'll explain that process as, a salesperson or a business development person creates an opportunity, they have to qualify it. That qualification step in and of itself can be a point of friction. If you have a weak salesperson who is not taking the time, when we talk about our 4 Ps, right? They're really not taking that time to plan. That in and of itself becomes a point of friction, because you've now wasted time, effort, and money. And it becomes an obstacle in and of yourself. And the trickle effects down the line is a chain of reaction of events that can be virtually catastrophic for an organization, for a salesperson's career, anything, just because we are not focused on those enough.